name's Angela and this is Devon Thread Tales. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to my channel, then a very warm hello to you. It's really lovely to have you here. I hope you enjoy what you see, and if you do, it'd be really fab if you could subscribe, give me a like, but more importantly, it'd be really lovely if you could give me a hi and a hello in the comments below. I really like to have a bit of a chat and hear what you guys are all up to and sewing or plans and all that kind of thing. It's really lovely to read and I really enjoy it. I also want to say a really massive thank you to everybody that has already subscribed or anybody that has been following me for a long time. You'll already know that I quite like to read and see and have a chat with you in the comments, but it's really, really lovely of you and I really appreciate all of your support. So I just wanted to say a really big thank you and a really big hello. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my plans for July. I cannot believe we're in July already, although I think I say that every month. I can't believe it's June, can't believe it's July. But it is July, and I think that this video is coming out ever so slightly earlier than what I was expecting. I should have been putting up a video about my Sasha trouser sew along, and I'm sorry that I haven't done that yet. I have finished my sashes, I have finished the sew along, I'm really, really pleased with it, but I need to edit the video and it's a really, really long process because I've done it in lots and lots of different stages, and unfortunately I have some really busy weekends, and I've had some busy weekends, what with collecting children from university, going to open university days, my husband's got a race, there's just lots and lots of things going on, and I just haven't had time to edit that video, but I'm going to try and get it done over the weekend and I will get that posted next week. So this month coming you will have 2 sew alongs, whereas you've missed a sew along for a month or 2. So I hope that's okay, but it is coming. But this sort of video is much easier for me to edit, and I thought I would get one up quickly and share with you what my plans are. So on with my plans. Now I have been trying to stick with 4 plans a month because I think that is much more realistic. And if you've listened to me before, you'll know that I always get very excited and think, right, I'm going to make this, I'm going to make this, and blah, and I end up with a list of about 50 different things. Slight exaggeration, but I do end up with a really long list and it's just unachievable. So I'm trying to make sure I cut it down to 4 things, and I've sort of tried to really now look at all the different things that I have in my sewing sort of agenda and all that kind of thing. So I have a whole list of UFOs or whips or however you like to describe them, but basically unfinished projects that I would like to attack. So they're not always the most fun thing to do, to pick up and start a project that's already, or finish a project that's already started. So I just thought if I could attack one of those a month, that'd be really great and it'll help me get through them. I've also been trying to do 1 sew along a month, so I'm going to be obviously sharing with you what I'm going to do with that. And I last month did a sew along, not a sew along that we shared with you, but I sewed a garment alongside Karen from So Little Time, and we then shared and did a pattern review on that, and we're going to do another one this month, so that would be really great. And then I choose another project that I'd like to do from my choice of long, never-ending list of things that I want to sew. Is it just me that always has a never-ending list of things that they want to sew? I just get really excited every time I see a new pattern or another version of a pattern or something like that. So the pattern that Karen and I are going to sew is the Tilly and the Buttons Marigold Jumpsuit. I had to try and really remember what that was called then. The name of it went from my mind completely. And I'm going to be sewing mine in a double gauze that I bought from Guthrie Ghani quite some time ago, and I bought this actually with that garment in mind. And when Karen and I were chatting about it, and chatting about what we thought we'd like to sew next, we both said we'd really like to have a go at this pattern. So it was really great. She already had the fabric for hers, I already had the fabric for mine, so it was a winner. And this is the fabric here. So it's a navy blue double gauze, and it has a little silver, I want to say it's like a little bit of ink or a little bit of paint or something like that, but it's like a silvery little speckly spot, and I think it's called something like Midnight Sky or something like that. So it's a double gauze, so it's a really nice weight, it's really, really lovely, and I think this will make a really nice jumpsuit. I think it's patterned enough to make it a little bit interesting, but plain enough that I could sort of mix it up and wear it with different things and different jackets and things like that. But I'm really, really excited about doing this. I think that I'm going to ever so slightly change the pattern. As you'll see on the screen, I've popped a picture of it up, but it has a sweetheart style neckline, and I've decided I'd like to straighten that out. I've seen images of this on Instagram where people have done that, so I think that will be quite an easy thing to do, and I'll talk about that when I have done it and we share our video later in the month, or maybe in August. So that's my first plan. I'm really excited about doing that. The next thing that I'd like to do is my sew along, and this time I'm going to be doing a pattern that I already made very, very recently, but it has first become a real favourite. It started off being a pattern that I tried, that I really wanted to make, and then once I'd made it I was so disappointed with the results that I just kind of slung it to one side and just thought, oh, I'll probably never sew that again, it doesn't fit. But you may already have guessed what it's going to be. I'm going to be doing the sew along for the new look 6446, and this is the jumpsuit that Karen and I did as our little sew together last month, and I have just fallen in love with this pattern so much. I made my version with a longer extended leg version, and I did a couple of tweaks to the pattern to make it fit to me, and I actually am going to make another small adjustment just to really, really make it fit, and I wanted to do that as my sew along with you. And I've chosen a really gorgeous fabric which I am so pleased with. But it is quite funny. I went to a shop, I went to Make in the Royal William Yard in Plymouth, and they do have a website, I'll put her details below, and I went there with the intention of buying a viscose fabric in a red colour if I possibly could, and something that was really ditzy and floral. I thought that would be a really, really nice thing to make this jumpsuit up in. So I went through all her fabric and chose this. So not red and not ditzy and not floral at all. It is a viscose, it's totally plain, and I saw it and I don't know why, I just was instantly drawn to it, and I just thought that is gorgeous, and I think it will be something that's so different for me and so different in my wardrobe, and I'm so excited about making this. So I'm going to be making this as my sew along for the new look 6446 pattern, and I can't wait to get that sewn up. So that's my sew along. So the next thing that I want to share with you is the thing that I'd like to make as my work in progress and completing a work in progress pattern. So within my work in progresses, I have the Sallie dress. Now the Sallie dress and jumpsuit, and the name of the pattern companies completely escaped my mind, but I'm going to put it on the screen here. But the dress comes as either a dress or a jumpsuit, and it has two different top options as well. You can have one with shoestring straps, or you can have one which is more sort of slightly t-shirty but with a tie back. And I really want to make this as a jumpsuit. In fact, I got the pattern with fabric in a Guthrie Ghani Sewing Society kit, but that's not what I'm making. I am using the pattern, but I'm actually just making a version in a different fabric. And I've got this version that I got from Minerva. Now I did actually receive this fabric as in exchange for a blog post. So I am going to be doing making this up and then describing it in a blog post. But I have decided to just experiment with the size and all that kind of thing. So I'm going to make the strappy dress version, and instead of making the long version, I'm actually going to cut it off where the slit comes. So hopefully you can see those images on the screen. I'm going to cut it off where the slit comes and make it just a short summer dress. I think it'll be a really nice dress to have in my cupboard. I think it's something that if it fits well and looks nice, it'll be something that I can wear quite a bit in the summer. But I really like this fabric. I think it's really, really nice. I think it's going to make a really pretty dress. I've seen lots of people make lots of different things with this fabric. I think it's an art gallery fabric. I'm not very good with names of pattern or fabric companies, but I think it's an art gallery fabric. Just really, really beautiful. It's a viscose jersey, so it's really soft, really sort of lightweight, got a nice sort of drape to it, and yeah, I think that's just going to make a really, really nice dress. So that is my work in progress project for this month. So on to the last thing that I want to sew, and that is a Guthrie Ghani kit. So I have subscribed to Guthrie Ghani, and you can do this completely free of charge. You just sign up to their newsletter for their sewing society, and you get an email every first Wednesday of the month, and they share with you what kit it is that they're going to be selling that month. And they do sell out quite quickly, so you do need to jump on it if you really like the pattern. And I have bought quite a few kits, and I haven't actually managed to make all of them, so I've got a bit of a backlog. So I thought it would be a really good idea to start going through those kits and using one of those things as my project to do each month as well. So this time I am going to be doing the Helen's Closet Yanta overalls. I think they're called overalls as opposed to dungarees, and I'm going to be making them out of this really gorgeous linen. Now the overalls come, you can make them as short or you can make them long, and I quite fancy making them long. I seem to have quite a bit of a greeny tealy theme going on here. I'm looking down at the rest of the fabric and realising I've got quite a lot of the same colour. So I thought this would be really nice. Again, I chose it because I thought it would be a bit different for me. I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone a little bit and not wear just blue as I have on today again. And I just thought it'd be really nice and a really lightweight kind of dungaree. I'm going to call them dungarees because they're dungarees to me, but it says overalls in the pattern. But yeah, I thought that'd be a really nice lightweight dungaree pattern. Just a nice little t-shirt on underneath, that'd be really lovely. And I'm going to make the long version, but I'm going to maybe like roll them up at the bottom. I just think that'll look really nice. I'm kind of hoping they're not going to look like Andy Pandy sort of, you know, garment, because I do worry about that with dungarees. But if you get the fit right, I think they can look really, really nice. So that is my plan with this fabric, and I'm really excited about making those. It's going to be a little bit more of an in-depth sort of sew, because obviously there's going to be lots of top stitching and things like that, but I quite like that. So I can't wait to share that with you. So the next thing that I'd like to share with you is knitting, and a bit of a knitting project. So those are all my sewing things which I intend to make this month. However, I have been doing a bit of a knitting project month on month, and I've really been enjoying doing that. And my most recent knitting, or the knitting that I've been doing, I have completed, and I'm going to be sharing that with you in my June makes video, which hopefully I will share with you next week. So because I'd finished that, I decided to start a new project, and I've got it here. I'll just grab it. So I've got another kit from We Are Knitters, and this time I've gone for something a little bit more simple from the last time, and I've gone with this garment here, which is the Lighthouse Sweater. So it is literally a stocking stitch sweatshirt. It's got rib on the bottom, rib around the neck, and rib on the cuffs as well, and then it's stocking stitch, so plain and purl knitting, and it's just got a stripe. And I've chosen this creamy colour, and on here, I don't think you can see it very well on there, it's actually a burgundy red, but I've gone with a navy blue. Funny that, another blue garment. But I've chosen the blue and the creamy whitey sort of colour that's on here, and I've actually made a bit of a start on it already. I've actually already done the back. It's knitting up quite quickly, and I'm wondering whether I might even manage to finish it in July, which if I can, that'd be great, although it's getting a bit warmer, so I might not get much wear out of it. But I've already knitted the back, so I'm really, really pleased with how that's looking, and it's been really quite pleasant to knit, because the other cardigan that I've been making, which I'll be sharing with you soon, has been really complicated, and I had to really concentrate, and it took me absolutely ages. So this has been really nice. It's felt quite sort of gratifying to kind of knit it and go, oh, look how much I've knitted already. It feels really, really good. So yeah, I'm really hoping that I might finish that in July, but I never panic about the whole knitting thing, so I'm so much slower. So that's my current knitting project, and I thought I would share that with you. So that's everything that I have planned for July. I'm really excited about making those things and sharing them with you. I'd really love to know what your sewing plans are in July, and maybe actually share with me, do you stick with the same sort of colour palette, or do you have lots and lots of different colours in your wardrobe? And has sewing made you change your perspective on your clothing? Has your style changed because of your sewing, or has your style remained the same and you've just sewn the same sort of thing that you would ordinarily wear anyway. I'm really interested to know, because I feel like my style has really changed since sewing. I've become slightly more adventurous. So yeah, that would be really good to find out about that. So I'm going to love you and leave you there. I hope you've enjoyed that today, and I will speak to you soon. You take care. Bye.